So hi, everyone. Thank you again to Felicia and Samantha and the whole HAYVN team for coordinating this and letting me come and be a part of this event today. I'm very excited to be here with all of you. And thank you to all of you for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I know there's a lot of webinars and online stuff going on, so for taking the time to listen to this today. I hope you find it helpful and informative and not super boring. So my name is Rachel Ferreira, and I am the Senior Program Associate with CTNext. So I have the pleasure of working every day with small businesses, entrepreneurs, and innovators, and helping them not just survive, right, but really helping them thrive in making sure that they have the access to everything that they need to make this business what they want. So a little bit about CTNext. So what is CTNext? Some of you may be familiar, but for those of you who aren't, on behalf of the state of Connecticut, CTNext is charged with helping early stage businesses and entrepreneurs really have access to the resources, the network, and all the guidance they need to really grow and succeed, right? We want to make sure that the businesses who are starting and working so hard have the things that they need and have access to everything to make sure that they can be as successful as possible. We do this because we want to see economic development in our state, and we really want to position Connecticut as a place where businesses can grow and thrive, right? You don't have to, it doesn't always have to be Boston, doesn't always have to be New York. Connecticut's a great place for businesses too. So how exactly do we do that, right? It's a nice mission, but how do we do that? So we do that through a variety of different things. So we have mentoring, we have access to capital, we have training, we have company development, we have one-on-one mentoring, we have a whole bunch of different things, but really we're a catalyst for growth, right? So we're helping companies from start to end, from ideation to exit and everything in between. So we have a bunch of different programming, and our goal is really to help entrepreneurs get to where they're going and hopefully get there a little bit quicker than they would on their own. So a little bit about our programs. I put them into 3 different buckets here, and I'm just going to talk about each of these buckets, and then we'll go into some of the details. So I know there's a variety of people on this webinar today. I'm going to focus primarily on the direct-to-company grants. We'll touch on everything, but I think that's what might be the most beneficial to everyone. So the direct-to-company grants, that's money that goes straight to the company, right? There's no intermediary. It goes from us to you, and it's used to help support whatever area of growth the grant aligns to, right? So if it's for interns, the money goes straight to helping you be able to afford having an intern. And the great thing about these grants is that they're grants, right? You don't have to pay us back. There's no royalty at the end. It's money that goes from us to you, and the return on our investment is your success. Then we have the ecosystem development grants. So these programs are helping to build the ecosystem in Connecticut and make it more attuned for entrepreneurship. So these are typically funding that goes to organizations who have that mission. And then lastly, we have the company development resources. So these are non-financial resources, and what they are is to help companies grow and develop. So these are different offerings that, although not financial, are used to help companies grow and give them access to information and guidance that they might need. So a little bit about our direct-to-company opportunities, right? So these are our grants. This is like, everyone's like, give me the money, right? This is the most exciting part. So one of our most popular programs is our Entrepreneur Innovation Award. A little bit like Hatch that Felicia talked about. This is a Shark Tank style competition. I'll also say that it's a little bit more like a dolphin style, right? The point of it is not to be critical of entrepreneurs or small businesses. It's really the judges are there to help you grow and provide you with the feedback that you're going to need. So this is usually held 3 times a year, and entrepreneurs and companies, they compete to win a $10,000 grant. This usually happens 3 to 4 times a year, and companies will submit a project, right? And the project can be about building your prototype, getting your product to MVP. It could be about customer acquisition. All of the different types of eligible grants are on our website, and we'll give you more details there. But really what's important to know is this is rolling admission, right? So you don't have to wait until you see the email from CTNext that says, hey, like the EIA is coming up. You can apply at any time, and we have dedicated staff who will review your application. We'll help you. If it's not eligible, we'll talk to you one-on-one. We'll spend the time talking to you to make sure that you understand what we're looking for, what would make your application eligible and what wouldn't, because we're there to collaborate with you. We want to help you. We don't want to leave people out. So once your application is eligible, it's sent to a panel of external reviewers. So we send it to, and these external reviewers, they rotate. It's not always the same people to make sure that it's not biased and it's nice and fair. And they select the top 10, and then the top 10 come and pitch and have that opportunity to win that $10,000 grant. What's super exciting is it's usually not just one $10,000 grant. There's a couple. So there's a lot of opportunities to win. And we try to make it extra engaging, especially for our audience members, by letting them vote for crowd favorites. So audience members get to go on there, watch all the pitches, and vote for their favorite, and the favorite could win a $2,000 grant, which is amazing. So if you haven't had the opportunity to attend one of these events, we definitely recommend doing that. Right now, we're actually doing them virtually, so thanks to the pandemic. So that's something that we'd love to see you at. If you haven't had the opportunity, apply, watch, whatever you'd like to do. It's a really great program. Kind of along the lines of the Entrepreneurs Innovation Award, we have the Entrepreneur Learners Permit. So really what this program is, it's to help alleviate some of that cost of starting your business, right? And being a first-time entrepreneur, to make it a little bit more manageable. So in doing that, we provide a reimbursement. So this is a little bit different than our other grants where it's typically like, we give you the money up front. This is a reimbursement. So if you are a first-time entrepreneur and you've had to do state filing, permitting, licensing that you've paid to the state of Connecticut or your municipality, you can get reimbursed for that. So that's stuff like your Secretary of State filing, your business registration, any of those kinds of things. There are some qualifying industries for this. So you have to be a bioscience, information technology, or green tech company. But if you are one of these and you are a first-time entrepreneur, it's a great program to take advantage of. All you have to do is go to our website and apply. It's reviewed by our staff and you submit your receipts, and then you would be reimbursed for whatever you spent. So we're definitely something to take advantage of if you're eligible. And if you have any questions in this program and all of our programs, I'm happy to discuss it further at length. Next, I'm going to talk about our second, I would say that this is our second most popular program, so our Technology Talent Bridge program. So we know that small businesses, you guys need manpower, right? You need manpower. You don't have all the time in the world, and interns are a really great way to kind of do two of our missions at once, right? Help you grow while also helping to retain some of that amazing talent that we have in Connecticut and keeping them here. So we know interns love paid internships. So what this program does, it helps subsidize the cost of you bringing on a paid undergraduate or graduate student. So a company can apply for up to $25,000. There's a certain rate that interns and companies are, the interns, graduate and undergraduate students have to be paid. There is a company match, but it's like half of whatever you have gotten. And you can have interns up to 5 interns. Interns can be academic year or summer interns or a combination of both. And the companies can have up to 5 interns. So this is a really great program. It is one of those programs that it's unlike the EIA, it's not a competition. If you meet the eligibility requirements and submit your documents, as long as we have funding available, we'll be able to approve you. So it's definitely something that you should think about taking advantage of if you have interns or you want to bring on interns. The companies also come to the table with the interns already selected, right? So you pick who you want, you apply with those intern names, and we take it from there. So it's a wonderful program. We've helped a lot of interns. A lot of these interns have gone on to be hired by the companies. So it's a really wonderful way to think about expanding your reach. Now, the last direct-to-company program that I'm going to highlight here is our growth company grants. So this is a little bit more for our mid-funnel companies, a little bit more late stage than some of the other programs we've been talking about. So this might not be something that applies to everyone right away, but it's something really great to keep in mind of as you continue to grow and scale, right? Because this is a $25,000 grant that can be used to help grow your company. You can use it for sales assistance, for marketing, prototype development, organizational growth, whatever you're going to need to make your company grow. There are some very specific legislative requirements and eligibility requirements that were built into this program, which we won't go into too much detail on, but company can't be more than 10 years old, has to have raised private capital, and has to have seen a 20% increase in their annual gross revenue over the past 3 years. So again, there are some very specific requirements. We're always happy to talk through them, but this is something great to keep in mind. You might already be at that stage or you might be working towards that stage, but it's great to keep in mind as you're thinking about access to non-dilutive funding. So Now that we've talked about kind of the direct-to-company funding, we're just going to touch briefly on the ecosystem development grants. So again, these are organizations that we partner with and programs that we support that are helping to develop the entrepreneur ecosystem in a more broad way. So the first program I'm going to touch on is the Higher Education Initiative. As I've talked about before with our TTB program and a couple of others, one of our big goals is to attract and retain the talent that comes to Connecticut. So we have a ton of students that are coming here for college and higher education, and then we see a lot of them leave. So how do we hold on to that talent, and how do we help companies be able to access that talent? One of the fundamental issues is making sure that students understand that entrepreneurship is a very real career path, and how can we introduce that to them in a higher education setting? So we have a bunch of programs that touch on this. Like, for example, we have a program that we supported at UConn, the Masters in Global Entrepreneurship program, which was a master's program for students to get a master's in global entrepreneurship, to make sure that they understood what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We have programs at University of Bridgeport that help students go from ideation and creating an innovation to a patent, because that's something that can be kind of complicated too. But really, the primary focus of this program is making sure that institutions of higher education have programs in place that are helping students learn about entrepreneurship and how to be an entrepreneur. And again, that it's a viable career path. The next one that I'll highlight is the partner program. So we're lucky enough to have HAYVN as a partner. And what this program does is it really helps CTNext extend its reach, right? We're a pretty small team. And of course, we can't be housing all of our different programs underneath ourselves. There's some people who are way better equipped, people like Felicia, who know the community that they're in, have ideas, have, you know, members and people and a following. So to partner with them to help provide entrepreneurs with workspaces, technical service, incubators, accelerators, the kinds of things that they need to grow and succeed. So this is a way that we offer direct to company help in kind of an extension of ourselves, right? By partnering with organizations who are already doing that work or want to be doing that work. Like I said, HAYVN, we're lucky enough to have them as a partner. Reset is another one of our partners. So we have the Impact Accelerator, where businesses with a social entrepreneurship basis are able to go and kind of learn about what it takes, learn about how do they raise capital, how do they market themselves, and everything that they need to know. So there's various accelerators and incubators and all of those kinds of things. So the people who are applying for this program are organizations that are providing that direct to company support. Then I'll touch on Innovation Places. So Innovation Places is one of our bigger programs. And what it does is it has allowed us to help make sure that our cities are becoming hubs of entrepreneurship, right? So we have 4 communities that were selected and deemed innovation places. And their goal is to grow technology and innovation and make sure that there's entrepreneurship festering kind of in that community, right? And they're supporting programs and initiatives that are helping the entrepreneurs in their community grow and succeed. So the communities are in Hartford and East Hartford, Groton, New London, Stamford, and New Haven. So just as an example of some of these programs, right? Because you probably haven't interacted with like the innovation place itself, but you might have interacted with Stanford Innovation Week. That's something that's supported through the program, or the InsurTech hub in Hartford, where we have insurance startups and the insurance companies working as disruptors within themselves. So something very interesting and very cool. Next, I'm going to talk on the company development resources. So these are some great resources for startups and small businesses that's not based in financial, right? It's not a financial resource, but it is a resource to access and guidance. So the first one I'll talk about is our startup advisors. We're very fortunate to have 2 wonderful startup advisors working with us currently. So these startup advisors will work with you one-on-one, right? And there's no money that you owe them or anything. CTNext takes on that cost to be able to provide you help and one-on-one service. So these startup advisors can help look through a business plan. They can help edit a pitch before a pitch competition. More importantly, they can help facilitate you to resources, right? That you might not have known about, or that you know, maybe haven't heard. We don't know what we don't know. And our startup advisors know a lot. So they're really able to act as that kind of like a handhold and help companies get to where they're going and make sure that they have access to the resources and education that they need. We also have our resource wizard. So this is something on our website that entrepreneurs can use to help find the resources that they need depending on the stage of the business that they're at. So whether you're planning your business or you're getting ready for investment, we have different resources there that you can kind of look through, and it'll pull up a whole list of those resources. So if you're looking for legal help, you can find it on there. If you're looking for accounting, you can find it on there. A whole bunch of co-working space, you can find it on there. So it's a really great resource that's available to CTNext members, and that is free, right? All of this is free. Going along with that, we have our member directory. So this allows members to connect with one another. When you sign up to become a member, it lets you opt in or out to the member directory. And once you do that, it's a whole listing of everyone who's a member for CTNext. We've had people who find their CFOs on here, their CTOs, you know, their next intern. There's so many opportunities there, and it really allows you to make sure you have the support you need, because we know that being an entrepreneur is hard, right? You need support, you need other people in your corner, and this allows you to have a built-in network to make sure that you have that. Again, that's on our website. The next thing that I'll touch on really briefly is the SBIR Accelerate program. So SBIR is the Small Business Innovation Research Fund, so it's a federal grant. Basically, the federal government is tasked with deploying millions of dollars to help accelerate small business and small business innovation. So we want to make sure that this funding that's available is coming to Connecticut. So we offer things to make it more likely that Connecticut companies are going to win and be awarded those grant funds. The SBIR process can be very laborious and very tedious, and you know, very has to be done a certain way. There's not a lot of flexibility in it. So what we do is we have a workshop where we have experts come in and they talk about every single thing you need to know about the SBIR process, when it is, what they're looking for, what are the different departments. Are you applying for NSF or the Department of Energy or the Department of Education? What's the right path for you? We have those workshops available. We also have up to 20 hours that CTNext will pay for one-on-one help with writing your SBIR proposal, right? Which is wonderful for companies. CTNext was also that we're a FAST recipient, we're the state's FAST recipient, which means that we help focus outreach, support, and to help reduce the barriers that women-led, minority-led, and veteran-led businesses face. And one of the things that goes along with that FAST grant is reduced fees for the SBIR component and SBIR help for those types of businesses. We also do conference reimbursements. So if you go to the National SBIR conference, which I don't know if they're having this year, you can get reimbursed for that for your travel expenses. So that's a little bit about the SBIR program. And then I'm going to talk about the Mentor Network. So this is one of our newer initiatives. And what's amazing about this, right, is that we have these volunteer mentors who are so dedicated and are so willing to help and have so much expertise within them, and they want to offer it back, right? They want to help entrepreneurs who are starting out and are looking to grow. So we have angel investors, educators, serial entrepreneurs, whole group. The Mentor Network allows us to match a company with a mentor who's going to meet with them, you know, probably once a week for at least an hour, a touch point, right, to be able to run things by. And then you have access to all the other mentors in our network and programming, right? We have special curriculums and programs and workshops and opportunities for these companies to really help them grow and broaden their network. That's the purpose of it. So just a little pitch there. Our application for our 2021 cohort is going to be opening in January. We're going to be having information sessions in the next couple of months to let you know a little bit more details about the program, what we're looking for, and meet the mentors, so you get to know some of our mentors a little bit to see what they're able to offer. But we're incredibly lucky to be working with these individuals, and it's definitely something to consider. So I've talked about all of these different programs and talked your guys' ears off about everything that we have to offer, but what are the success stories, right? Do we have any companies who've actually gone through this and succeeded? So I've just picked 2 companies here kind of at random who've actually participated in a bunch of our different programs to kind of highlight that, right? So we have Encapsulate, an amazing company that we've been working with for a very long time, who, as you can see, they've taken advantage of a lot of the different programming that we've had. So they participated with us through one of our higher education initiatives with the Masters in Global Entrepreneurship. They were a growth grant winner. They worked with one of our startup advisors. They participated in the very first cohort of the Mentor Network. They won the EIA more than once. And they also worked with the UConn Third Bridge, which was one of our partner programs. And in 2020, that all led, not of course, just because of us, but as a result of their hard work and a little bit having to do with the network that we've had, they were awarded the NASA International Space Station Award at a value of $750,000, which was incredible success, of course, based on the fruits of their labor, but we are just happy to have a little bit of involvement in that and being able to help them grow a little bit. So it's been tremendous to be able to watch them grow. Another company that I'll just highlight for a quick moment is Peak Performance. Their product is called RopeSafe. I had the pleasure of meeting John Norton when he was first applying for the EIA, very first time around. And he won that and went on to work with their startup advisor, and then went on to apply for the growth grants and won that too, and attended our SBIR workshop. And it all culminated in him receiving the Air Force SBIR Phase 2 award for $750,000. So he's really seeing tremendous growth based on his work ethic and his ability to just keep going. But all of this just goes to show that, like, we have a lot of things out there, and our mission, right? We are here to help. That's what our goal is, and we'll always try to help. So with all that said, if you're not a member, you should definitely become one, right? It's free. There's nothing you have to do besides go to our website, click on member registration, put in your information, and that opens up the door to all of these opportunities. Everything that we have is free. There's nothing that's at a cost to you. And again, our job is to help you grow and help you see growth and get to where you want to be. So whatever we can do to support that, we're going to.